after he starts hanging out with Diddy. Then he marries Demi Moore, who drained him of all the adrenochrome she can, and apparently he replenished himself by doing inappropriate things with her daughters.
Prepare yourself. The name of Demi Moore is now we're talking about secret parties, stunning hidden footage, and accusations linking her to Diddy's most infamous scandal, which is poised to rock Hollywood's foundations. A list celebrities, gatherings with minors, and an underground society where people were never expected to see until now. If even a small portion of these claims are true, this explosive leak from a well-known lawyer who says they have footage linking Demi to scenes that could change our perception of Hollywood's elite could bring down some of the biggest names in the business. There are shocking claims about secret recordings and whispers of unsettling events that took place behind closed doors. The reality of these gatherings may be more sinister than anyone had thought. You won't want to miss the opportunity, so remain right here. The name of Demi Moore is currently making headlines in a scandal that could shake Hollywood's biggest stars due to twists and turns and hard facts that are only now coming to light. Attorney Tony Busby has been making shocking claims about Diddy's exclusive parties, and as more names come to light, Demi Moore stands out. Although Moore's life has frequently been in the spotlight, this most recent connection has fans and followers examining her past through scrutiny. Busby suggests that there is footage linking well-known celebrities to these events, raising questions about what actually happened behind the scenes. However, this isn't just about high-profile get-togethers. These events allegedly involved hidden cameras and activities that went far beyond the typical Hollywood party. A lot more questions adding to the curiosity. Demi's past interviews reveal some difficult experiences she's spoken openly about. In one instance, she recounted a painful incident from her youth in her memoir, Inside Out. According to Demi, a man in her home exploited her trust in a betrayal she said was orchestrated by someone close to her. This experience clearly left an emotional impact, and now with her name appearing in this current story, people are wondering if past trauma may have influenced her later life. And here's where it gets even more complicated. Busby is claiming there's footage from these parties that links Hollywood A-listers to events that are causing shock waves. If this video evidence is real, it could lead to a huge shakeup in the entertainment industry. People are revisiting Dem's controversial moments, including her connections to younger individuals and her relationship with Ashton Kutcher with a notable age gap. That relationship attracted media attention, and now it's adding another layer of intrigue to her involvement with Diddy's social scene. He and Diddy were nearly inseparable when Demi and Ashton initially started dating, going to events and exploring Hollywood's nightlife together. Did he even make the joke that Ashton and Demi's relationship slowed down their wild adventures? As these accusations develop, one thing is certain: the attention on Demi's past, her connections, and these rumored parties could reveal some hidden sides of Hollywood we've never seen before. Some fans wonder if Ashton's close relationships with Diddy might have brought Demi even closer to that circle than anyone realized. Stay tuned, since this is only the start. Could Demi Moore's Hollywood legacy come to an end as a result of her stunning connection to the Diddy scandal? Busby's allegations are completely upending Demi Moore's relationship with Diddy. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed, many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal troubles are mounting fast, and he's facing charges way beyond the typical celebrity scandal we're talking. Allegations of illegal activities and underage guests at his infamous parties, and now with a trial date set, he could be facing life in prison. But there's a twist: Demi's possible involvement adds a whole new layer to this scandal. If her name gets dragged into this case, it could become one of the biggest Hollywood has ever seen. Diddy's defense team is scrambling, but if Busby's evidence holds up, things aren't looking good. And here's the real kicker: Busby's hinted that even more A-list names could be tied to this case.
Within me, I was in a place that was thinking, wow, how did I get in here? Isn't this interesting? And then my very next thought was, oh, I wonder if I can get out. And all of a sudden I was back in my body. And I think it was a moment that I was somehow being given a choice.
You think it was that close?
I think certainly emotionally, it was.
This isn't just about Diddy anymore, it's about the Hollywood elite, who are either active participants or silent bystanders to what was happening. Demi has had her share of struggles with addiction, and I believe that if she is a part of this inner circle, her career and legacy could be seriously jeopardized. My relatives, in her memoir, she even described how, while on a trip to Mexico, Ashton persuaded her to break her sobriety, causing a downward spiral. She claimed that growing up surrounded by trauma, including saving her mother from an overdose, left scars that she has carried for years. Fans can't help but wonder if these experiences made her more vulnerable to the crowd she found herself around when she married Ashton Kutcher. They had an effect on her family, particularly the rumors about her daughter. With these accusations coming to light, Scout and Tula's girls could be facing yet another difficult period in their mother's life. This is not only jeopardizing Demi's profession, but it is also putting her family through hardship. Do you know how fierce you are? I just think, wow, that was a long time ago. I have to read. EMI used to be Hollywood's wild child, partying hard and enjoying life as she pleased, but these latest accusations give her decisions a far darker perspective. Are you aware of how fierce fans are wondering if this attitude led her into the Diddy scene or perhaps something even darker? I just think, wow, that was a long time ago during her marriage to Ashton. Demi revealed they had an open border relationship, even inviting third parties into their marriage. She later admitted it blurred the lines and led to serious trust issues. However, when questioned about Diddy's parties in a recent interview, Ashton cautiously implied that he knows more than he's let on. He chuckled and said he couldn't mention certain things. What did Ashton see? Did he hear any party stories? They're our favorite kind of tale, so if you have one, well, I've got a bunch I can't tell, so I can't tell that one too. Did Demi attend those parties with him? People are questioning whether Ashton unintentionally drew her into a world she never imagined. Stories about Diddy's parties, if you have one, is our favorite kind of tale. Wow, I have a lot of stories I can't tell, so I can't tell that one too. Here's the biggest twist yet. Busby says he has footage that could directly link celebrities like Demi to these parties. If true, Demi's Hollywood legacy and biggest scandal of her career are at stake, so fans are curious. What do you think? Could Demi Moore really be involved in something so sinister, or is she just another victim of Hollywood's never-ending rumors? Is this connected to Diddy's world, just a misunderstanding, or could it permanently altered her legacy? Diddy and Ashton Kutcher's relationship is scandalous. Although reports about brewing Diddy's parties have long generated debate, Ashton Kutcher's relationship with Diddy is now the subject of increased attention. Due to P. Diddy's legal issues, many celebrities are afraid to come out because they fear losing their reputation and opportunities. This reluctance is exacerbated by the possibility of being identified as witnesses, which exposes them to. The main point at hand is whether Ashton was aware of the unwelcome attention that may endanger their careers in a very competitive field. In a 2019 interview that was resurfaced, Ashton was asked about Diddy's exclusive events, but he sidestepped the question, leaving fans to wonder what he might know. His evasive answers have stoked rumors that he might be concealing something about Diddy Shady's activities, as more celebrities are scrutinized for their relationships with Diddy. Rumors of Ashton's involvement in Diddy scandals have gained traction, particularly since the indictment mentions that Diddy allegedly enlisted an accomplice. According to legal documents, Ashton and his associates used their fluency to intimidate and lure female victims while feigning to seek romantic relationships. Allegations detail how these actions included transporting sex workers across state lines and internationally, which could have serious legal repercussions for all parties involved. The fact that Ashton assisted in planning one of Diddy's renowned parties in July 2009 raises concerns about his character and calls into question his participation in Diddy's inner circle in 2017. When Ashton and Mila Kunis wrote character letters endorsing their co-star Danny Masterson from that 7's sitcom, they received criticism.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
Who was charged with many rapes, and the couple's choice to stand behind Masterson even after he was given a 30-year jail term received a lot of criticism. Demonstrating the brittleness of celebrity friendships, they later issued an apology video in which they clarified that their intention was not to lessen the trauma experienced by the victims, but rather that the harm to their reputations had already been done. With Ashton's connections to Diddy and his contentious support of people with troubled histories, do we have faith in his intentions? As concerns about his involvement grow, the public is left wondering if this scandal will worsen as more information comes to light that could implicate other Hollywood numbers. Diddy and Ashton Kutcher's friendship. According to Under Fire reports, the prosecution has been interviewing more than 50 people involved in the case. Many of the witnesses have first-hand knowledge of the alleged mistreatment, and their testimonies support new evidence. As the investigation progresses, the number of witnesses is expected to increase. Given Diddy's wide network of associates who have long supported his controversial lifestyle, this case has the potential to rock Hollywood. In the meantime, Ashton Kutcher's anti-trafficking group fans has expressed doubts about whether it really helps the victims or is a cover. They have said that Kutcher's evil friends tell you everything you need to know about him. This skepticism is a reflection of larger worries about the integrity of people in Hollywood who might use charity as a front for more sinister activities. Do you believe Ashton is guilty? Did he contribute to Diddy's alleged illegal actions? Post your opinions in the comments section below. Many people were surprised to learn how close Ashton and P. Diddy had been throughout the years, especially while Ashton was married to Demi Moore. In the midst of this turmoil, Ashton is facing criticism for his support of Danny Masterson, and there are rumors that he is also supporting Diddy. This connection raises concerns, particularly in light of the troubling allegations regarding Diddy's relationships with other male celebrities at Ashton's past run-ins with the law, which further cloud the situation. Raises the possibility that he may have overlooked concerning conduct among individuals who were close to him. Their friendship began in 2003 when they worked together on MTV shows. In 2018, Ashton reminisced about their friendship on The Late Late Show, sharing amusing anecdotes, but the lightheartedness of their previous interactions now casts a shadow over their relationship. While past interviews researched on Hot Ones, his evasive remarks about Diddy's party raised eyebrows when he called those parties. This isn't the first time Ashton has come under fire. Their support for Masterson backfired, prompting an apology video in which they insisted their intentions were not to undermine the victims. Fans criticized their lack of genuine emotion, casting doubt on their character and adding to the drama. Ashton and Mila recently stepped down from their roles at Thorne, his favorite genre of anecdote, and his casual dodging is making people wonder if he knows more than he's letting on, possibly indicating deeper involvement in Diddy's world. Thorne, the anti-child exploitation group Kutcher and Demi co-founded in 2009, has saved hundreds of children from human trafficking, but many people have doubts about one response encapsulated Ashton's dedication to the cause, considering his connections to D. As the story develops, it's evident that this response highlights the mistrust around the genuineness of famous personalities in the aftermath of severe charges against those they interact with. I've always believed that his protecting children was simply him concealing what he's really doing. That Ashton Kutcher and P. Diddy's connection is being closely examined, and fans are excited to see how this scandal develops, especially as additional information from ongoing investigations becomes available. Demi Moore, Diddy, and Ashton Kutcher's drama is a mess. According to rumors, Ashton Kutcher may have found himself in a lot of trouble because of his previous remarks. Ashton hinted but never completely revealed the turmoil that occurred at those legendary Diddy parties, and federal investigators are paying careful attention to it. It's a tricky issue. Ashton's history of ignoring his buddy Danny Masterson raises problems since he avoids difficult questions while dealing with the fallout from his earlier support. If he could overlook all the turmoil for Danny, why wouldn't he do the same for Diddy? This entire thing seems shady, particularly because Ashton and Malala are staying quiet about Diddy after the fallout from the Masterson problem. An anonymous insider informed the Daily Mail that Ashton has distanced himself from Diddy despite their lengthy connection. He has distanced himself from Diddy since his ex-girlfriend Cassie's lawsuit, and now that Mila is ensuring Ashton stays away, he's even anticipating a subpoena given their 20-year friendship. The rumor is that subpoenas are being sent out in droves, targeting anyone who may have interacted with Diddy. You know whose name is probably going to appear? Investigators are laying a broad net to put together this jigsaw, and if Ashton Kutcher is dragged into it, a lot of things might go well out of control. People may discover themselves entangled in the drama of Diddy. Demi Moore, Ashton's ex-wife, is adding another layer to this complicated web since nobody wants to be connected to a significant probe. Given their lengthy relationship and her public persona, given the latest revelations of Diddy's parties, Demi Moore may find herself inadvertently involved in this controversy. The fact that Ashton and Demi have spent so much time together makes one question whether Demi has any thoughts or insights into her ex-husband's present struggles. Their lives have frequently intersected with other industry heavyweights, such as Diddy himself, due to their years in the spotlight. Cat Williams even weighed in, telling people to avoid Diddy's parties because, let's face it, they don't seem like your typical get-togethers, rather they're more like VIP passes to possible chaos. Jaguar Wright made some serious accusations regarding Diddy's parties, saying he enticed young industry hopefuls with promises of success in exchange for who knows what. Jaguar told a startling tale about a female lawyer who happened to stumble upon a young artist having sex with Diddy in his office. The door was open when she entered, and she saw Christopher Williams performing a spooky show for Diddy. What was even more unsettling was the conversation she had with Diddy afterward. It seems that Christopher Williams was negotiating a demo deal, which never materialized into an album deal when the young woman arrived to obtain approval for some paperwork she had discovered. In The Game We Sent You, Diddy has been open about introducing artists like Usher to the wild lifestyle when they were still fresh. He called it Puffy Flavor Camp in the 90s. Do you understand what that's like? I went there to see the lifestyle, and it was intense. However, Jaguar also revealed that Diddy's parties weren't just about him and his guests. Other Hollywood heavyweights were allegedly joining in on the fun.
We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
What are you
I
saying?
went there to see the lifestyle. It was pretty wild.
Furthermore, Diddy later acknowledged that the energy was so high that he had to create a traditional bathroom escape just to breathe. Even Luke from 2 Live Crew had to do it. I love this drink, and I like it when you like this, daddy, you're my daddy, and I like when you're scrambling and scraping. In response to the question of whether he had ever partied with Diddy, he frequently said, no, not really. I would go to the party and leave early and be impressed about what happens after hours. He also said, I don't know what goes on after hours, but I wasn't trying to find out. This quick departure suggested that things were getting out of hand. Kutcher, Ashton Diddy, and Demi Moore, the last countdown in a controversial story. In an effort to break this case, HSI is working closely with local law enforcement. There are claims that Diddy made a hurried departure from his mansion. It is upsetting for some to believe that Diddy would leave his own children in such a predicament, but when the cops arrived, they took his sons Christian and Justin into custody without ever seeing him. Where was he throughout all of this chaos? People were left in disbelief when Diddy was seen pacing outside Miami airport rather than relaxing on a private island. Because Homeland Security isn't renowned for being kind, they arrive with guns blazing, ready to take on anything that seems shady. His lawyer came out swinging the next day, calling the raid an excessive show of force, leaving everyone wondering what his next move would be and if he was planning an escape to vanish without a trace. There is no justification for the extreme display of force aimed toward Mr. Combs' family, which occurred yesterday when search warrants were executed with an egregious abuse of military-level force. The lawyer maintained that this was nothing more than a witch hunt and Mr. Combs was not arrested despite speaking with and cooperating with the police. Let's go back to the lawsuits that started this entire problem. They are full of severe claims, but the worst part is that the investigation was so covert that even some of the agents were unaware they were searching Diddy's house until they arrived. In the shootings, Diddy is accused of tampering with alcohol and controlling young women, such as Cassie, who sued him for years of abuse and dominance. Diddy was characterized by Cassie as violent, saying he had total control of her life, including her finances and medical records. She disclosed that an MRI revealed she was losing her memory, which she attributed to Diddy's aggressive behavior and the strong painkillers he forced on her. Things became ugly back in 2016 when Cassie tried to leave Diddy, resulting in a tumultuous encounter that involved the police. Following heated arguments, he tried to win her back with lavish gifts, but Cassie's story paints a different picture. He would isolate her in hotels for recovery. Even worse, there have been accusations that Diddy took advantage of Cassie by entangling her in shady circumstances with other guys for his own twisted pleasures. According to reports, Diddy filmed these interactions to prevent her from pursuing legal action. She said that using his connections to cut off her relationships with friends and family left her feeling helpless and afraid even after Cassie broke free. Diddy kept an eye on everything she did, and just when you thought his drama couldn't get much worse. In a different lawsuit, an unidentified woman accused Diddy and R&B singer Aaron Hall of abusing her and her friend in the early 1990s. Then, in 2003, a terrifying new accusation surfaced that a young woman found herself in a precarious situation in Diddy's studio. Imagine this: a girl who is way too young ends up in Diddy's studio where things quickly go south. The lawsuit paints a haunting picture of alcohol flowing in unwanted advances as the night went on and the girl grew more and more confused. Diddy then led her to the restroom where the situation became even more problematic. The young woman recalled feeling anxious and having trouble breathing during the ordeal. According to the lawsuit, she was left alone in the restroom until she was able to return to the airport. At this point, Lil Rod entered the ring with his own accusations against Diddy, seeking a whopping $30 million in damages. Diddy's team is retaliating strongly, accusing Lil Rod of lying, and this legal dispute is starting to resemble something from a dramatic television show. It's a speedy payoff. They assert that they have unquestionable evidence that these accusations are wholly false. Lil Rod isn't just making noise, he has audio and video evidence to support his claims. This story isn't just about Diddy, it's attracting a whole cast of characters such as Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore, who have a lengthy history with Diddy and one another. Diddy's story is far from done, and it seems that he may not be the only one that faces the music. It's not surprising that Ashton Kutcher, who has known Diddy for decades and has a complex past with Demi, is finally being exposed for who he really is. As one observer noted, you're only as good as the men you hang out with, and Ashton knows a lot because he's been to parties and is aware of what goes on. If Ashton's name appears on those infamous Diddy tapes, things could quickly become very messy. Do you think that this is the end of the road for Demi Moore and other Diddy is linked to Hollywood celebs? Please share your ideas in the comments area. Press the like button and hit the subscribe button if you like the video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to enable the notification bell so that you can be informed of our most recent uploads. Thank you for viewing.